There's a story buried deep in Cold War history, one that feels like pure sci-fi but might be dangerously real. It's called Mindfield, and it was all about controlling the human mind using invisible electromagnetic waves. Sounds mad, right? But here's the thing, they didn't just theorize it, they tested it. Entire rural communities became secret laboratories. Villagers started reporting strange dreams, the kind you can't shake even after waking, and these weren't ordinary nightmares. People described seeing the same figure, a dark shadow watching them silently. It wasn't just one or two people, it was whole neighborhoods. Even more bizarre, some claimed their radios began whispering to them, even when turned off. Random bursts of static morphed into faint, eerie voices. Imagine that happening to you late at night. By the late 1960s, the project had expanded. Researchers discovered they could tweak these fields to manipulate emotions. Want to make someone angry or terrified? All it took was the right frequency. One report detailed an experiment where people felt sudden dread for no reason. They'd freeze in place, certain something was watching them. But nothing was there, or was it? Here's the scariest part, the fields could be projected over vast distances. This wasn't a lab-only experiment anymore, entire towns could be affected remotely. Ever feel anxious in a crowd without knowing why? In 1972, a whistleblower revealed a chilling detail. One test subject began hearing voices, not random ones, but clear commands. He couldn't resist them, even when they told him to hurt himself. Have you ever experienced a random mood swing or felt off without explanation? Drop a comment if this sounds familiar. What if it wasn't just in your head? The government labeled these incidents as mass hysteria and brushed them under the rug. But witnesses insisted otherwise. In one town, over 50 people claimed they saw a glowing orb hovering above their homes. Officially, it was written off as a weather phenomenon. But locals swore it wasn't natural. They said the orb felt like it was looking into their minds. Strange accidents followed wherever the tests happened. Birds dropped from the sky in flocks, seemingly out of nowhere. Fires started with no cause, and people wandered into traffic like they were in a trance. These incidents became so frequent that the project was shut down in 1983. Or at least, that's what they want you to believe. Rumors say the technology didn't vanish, it evolved. With today's tech, electromagnetic manipulation is easier than ever. Think about mobile networks, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. What if they're not just for communication anymore? Some believe this tech could explain why we sometimes feel watched or uneasy in modern cities. Imagine a system subtly influencing millions of people at once, and no one even notices. Reports of mass sightings and shared hallucinations aren't new. Think of the Salem witch trials or historical panics. Could they have been caused by natural electromagnetic fields? Or were they early tests? In the 1990s, private labs allegedly revisited the research under the guise of psychological studies. A leaked memo mentioned frequency-specific behavior modulation. Doesn't sound so harmless now, does it? Here's the question, how much control do we really have over our thoughts? Could someone plant feelings or even ideas into our minds? What if it's already happening? Think about how the government has always experimented with public opinion. Propaganda, subliminal ads. Mind control isn't a leap, it's just the next step. Doesn't that make you wonder? Drop a comment if this is blowing your mind. Ever had a day where you felt off but couldn't explain why? Maybe this is why. And the signs are everywhere. Sudden power outages, strange hums people report hearing in remote areas. Some say these are side effects of ongoing tests. It's like they're perfecting it before revealing it. Even animals might be affected. Birds navigate with electromagnetic fields, right? Could experiments explain why we see mass bird deaths or whales beaching themselves? The more you dig, the weirder it gets. Some people near alleged test sites report memory gaps, entire days missing. What if these fields can manipulate or erase memories? Here's the kicker, they don't need wires or close contact. Just amplifiers, like the ones in our phones or Wi-Fi routers. What if those devices aren't just making our lives easier? This isn't just some wild conspiracy. Think about all the tech we have now that sounded impossible 50 years ago. Stealth planes, weather control. Mindfield might be next on the list. If this got you questioning everything, don't forget to subscribe. There's more out there that we're not being told, and I'll keep digging it up. Check out my other videos. This rabbit hole goes deep.